Okay, today I'm going to talk about pyramids. And this information I have is will blow away a lot of these ancient alien um, archaeologists and pyramid, all these theories about the pyramids, how they were built, who built them, etc. So here's the information I have. Some time ago, I communicated with a star being or ET, and um, he was asked, well, in another um, setting, he was asked um, who built the pyramids, and what he had to say was pretty interesting. So he said that it didn't specifically say who built them. Um, um, you know, physically built them. He said that the person was responsible for the building of the pyramids was one person, and he said the pyramids in Egypt and Mexico and Central America, Peru, and etc. Weren't built. They weren't built by the Aztecs and the Egyptians, um, Mayas, Incas, etc. So much for that. But the person, he said, who was responsible, he said, responsible for the building of the pyramids was Hermes. He didn't say he built them, all himself, by himself. So I'm thinking he didn't say, but I'm thinking it's something like a general contractor when building a house. He oversees the whole project. They got plumbers, electricians, each build their own, etc. So in other words, they have subcontractors. So I'm thinking that's the way maybe it was set up, or they just, has other people build them. And he was the main guy overseeing the construction and the architecture, etc., the planning. But anyway, he said that it was Hermes, the one responsible for the building of the pyramids. He didn't specifically say, okay, this group helped build them or that group, etc. But I ran across an article or a channeling, actually. It's a channeler put out some information a while back, and this particular group said they were the builders of the pyramids, and these were the Andromedans. But I don't know. He didn't specifically say that. This star being, I'm talking about the channeler, said that. So maybe they were part. That was just one of many groups. We don't know. But anyway, and at one time he was asked, well, and he responded that the pyramids were built. Now here's the big shocker, the big bomb. The pyramids, he said, were built elsewhere. That's the bomb. He said they were built elsewhere. Okay, so then when I had a chance to communicate with him, I asked him, okay, he said the pyramids were built elsewhere. So do you mean on other planets? And no, it wasn't on other planets. He specifically said they were built in space. That's what he said. Now, he didn't say they were built on a spaceship in space. He just said they were built in space. And then they were deposited on the earth. That's what he said. Now, automatically, I thought, okay, well, that kind of makes sense because the way they're positioned, how accurate their precision, and you know, they start being have all this technology. That's not a problem. So say they were made in space and they were deposited on the earth. And like I said, they have technology to they could fuse the pyramids to the bedrock or whatever. You know, they can. He didn't get into detail. Well, they prepare the space underneath, you know, underground first, and etc. He didn't get on that. You know, do they build tunnels first, etc. And before they put the pyramids on there? Well, he didn't get into that. He just said they were built in space and they were deposited on the earth. That's what he said. So that's the big bomb. And so now I do remember he didn't get into very much detail, but I did remember he said they were used as energy centers. Now, he didn't get into detail. You know, that's one of the things he said. I mean, that's what I remember. He said he didn't get into detail. It was used for this, and that, and that, and that. But I ran across another channeler, and he got information that he said they were used also as produce energy. And also, I'm talking about the channeler now. He said they were used for like portals to travel back and forth to other planets, to get supplies, kind of like a Stargate, to get supplies or whatever they needed, and also to spy on other, to keep track of what the negative extraterrestrials are doing. We're doing on other planets, and so I had more than one function. In other words, what I'm trying to say, and to me, it kind of makes sense. So that's the what the channeler said, and also on a later channel, he's channeling. He said he was talking about the Temple of Jupiter and Baalbek, or the one that's in Lebanon, I believe. He spoke about how that one was built, and he said that one was built with several things. By using the principles of resonance, the blocks were tuned to a specific vibrational frequencies, which allowed them to be moved and placed with ease. The sound vibration used to manipulate the big stones, including something called celestial spheres, which he didn't say what that is, which with sound vibratory systems, which I suppose it vibrated, send the correct vibrations to the stones, etc. And they call it sonic technology. And it was used to move. So and to shape the blocks. So that's one technique. And they also use anti-gravity technology, he said. And so they can move. Oh, yeah. And they also had giant beings that helped out moving those pillars and huge stones around. And the sonic technology was enabled them to move them and also to shape them. So that explains how they shaped the stones, and not just in Egypt, I'm thinking, but other, around the world, how they perfectly match them. And, down in Peru or whatever, they're fit like a puzzle. You can't slip a little credit card in between, etc. So I'm thinking this sonic technology was used that way to shape those stones down in South America and Central America, Mexico, wherever. And so they use sonic technology, principles of resonance, anti-gravity, and giant beings to build these megalithic structures around the world. That's what I'm putting together. The principles of resonance. That's what he said. And let me show you. Okay. This is a small pyramid that kind of fits. It's big enough to fit in my hand, right? Just want to tell you my experience with this as far as energy. I'm not going to tell you the exact what else I used, because it's kind of it's not a good idea. But anyway, I laid down, meditated, and I put my left hand on top of this pyramid, not underneath it, on top of it. Meditated for, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And I had other things on me that probably made it do that, but which is kind of dangerous, so I won't say what it is, but anyway, because I don't want you to get hurt. So I was meditating with my hand on top of the pyramid, right? And all of a sudden, I felt like I got electrocuted. It came like from the pyramid up my body, and my arms, like they just jumped in the air, and it just felt like I got electrocuted. It gave me a headache, and I was like, oh my God. I jumped, and my arms went in the air. And I said, what in the heck? What the hell happened? It's like, but anyway, yeah, there's energy in these pyramids. Call it piezoelectric or whatever. Or anyway, there's power in these energies with all these crystals and stuff, and same thing with the stones. They have a lot of all these minerals and crystals and stones. But yeah, they do have energy, and so I suppose if you tinker around with it, you might come up with free energy just from this small device. But anyway, now it might not happen to you if you try to do something similar, because you didn't have the extra equipment I had on. And I don't want to tell you what it is because I don't want you to get hurt. But yeah, it sent an electric shock up my body to my head. And it was like, I felt like I got electrocuted. But it felt a little different though. You know, I've been electrocuted before as a kid, you know, because I know what it feels like. But this one, it was more like a straight shot versus when you get electrocuted in your home somewhere, it feels different. That one feels more like a spiral, and this one felt more like a straight shot. So anyway, I wanted to make this video and tell you this information. Like I said, I don't know if you would get shocked just by meditating on this just by itself. I didn't try it again after that. I'm thinking you won't because I've tried it without the other equipment. And I remember I didn't get shocked, but what did happen? Okay, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, I was meditating on it with my hand. I didn't have the extra equipment. And it didn't shock me that like a electric shock, like a electric bolt. But what it did, this is in a way a safer way to raise your kundalini. Now it does take about 45 an hour, a little bit past an hour. And how it works is you after a while your feet start tingling, like somebody's tickling the bottom of your feet. But it's not actually on the bottom exterior of your feet. It's more like interior, inside of your feet. And what it does, it's a slower, safer, I think, technique. And what it does, like I was saying, it slowly raises your kundalini. I mean, slowly. What it does is first you notice it tickling, and then it would build. It will slowly build, and it will build, and it will build, and higher, 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 till it'll trigger a full kundalini. Now, some people are not prepared for that. They may, they may have issues. They have traumas and other things that blockages. If their other chakras are all blocked, your chakras should be open, not blocked. So don't try to jump in there and just go for it because you may have issues. A lot of people have blockages, traumas, etc., and it may cause issues. So you got to be careful. But anyway, yeah, this thing did shock the heck out of me. And so there is power. Some other guys said, put out a video, said that they put out power. Yeah, they put out power. So this could be a free energy device if somebody could just tinker around with it and maybe put some wires to it and stuff and put it to some electrical device and see what happens. But anyway, just wanted to make this video on the pyramid Oh, one more thing. Another channeler said that the Atlantean or Egyptian person called Thoth, that Thoth was a title. She said there had been several Thoths with different names, and he worked on these. The original pyramids are not what we see now. They were different, and over time they were remodeled and redesigned and whatever. So, yeah, that could explain, shafts and tunnel that go nowhere, etc. And so they were not the original design that they were at the beginning. And also, somebody said, well, the exterior of the pyramid was polished limestone, etc. That could be in a later stage, because when I asked the star being at one time, I remember him saying specifically, say that the original colors of the pyramids in Giza, just I'm assuming it was just Giza, if I remember right. Anyway, he said the original color of the pyramids in Egypt there was not white or polished. Anyway, he said they were aquamarine. That's the original color of the pyramids in Egypt, aquamarine. And I'm guessing since over time they were refurbished and redesigned, etc., over time, the colors went away and weathered, whatever, then maybe remodeled and maybe polished it just for limestone, white limestone or whatever at a later time, I'm thinking. But the original color of the pyramids at Giza or Egypt there, he said they were aquamarine. So anyway, that's all for this video for now. Thank you.